G'day, and welcome to the Champions League review podcast here on Thfc Till I Die and the Full-Time Sports Network and Twitter and on Twitch. Philip is now famous, the most famous man in the world in Kazakhstan, as I was told yesterday. Yeah. They reckon you're as famous as, what was his name back in the 50s? Comedy
Borat.
No, not Borat. No. You're
Jesus,
more than the fella that kept falling over in the 50s, Philip. He was the comedian. He kept falling over. He'd done comedy films in the 50s.
Oh, I don't know. A bit before my time.
Yeah, well, you're as famous as him in certain places. Believe that's true. Even in North Korea, you're famous.
I must get an agent.
I was told. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Apparently, North Korea looking for you to be a diplomat between North Korea and America. Apparently, so we'll see how far that gets you. And also,
that's the impossible job.
Yeah, well, apparently they think you could do it, Philip. They think you can do it. The man of the head of North Korea heard you were the Godfather. He said, "That's the man for me." And also down below his column, his agent apparently, who's massive in Sweden, apparently. Sweden and Moldova. That's where Column's famous, biggest audiences are. So do you want to say anything to you? There you go, Colin. You're famous out there now. Colin is so bowled over.
Famous somewhere.
He's passed out. He's so overwhelmed.
I'm talking like the Swedish chef.
I'd like to thank all my 14. I'd like to thank all the 14 Moldova fans out there that support me.
Oh, lovely.
Oh dear. Yeah, and and Ireland and England as well. I was going through down athletics the other lads. We were getting into it, and I couldn't believe somebody in North Korea watched us, Philip. I actually found it. One North Korean person watched us.
Do you know what I thought you were going to say there? It says the North Korean pole vault champion is now the South Korean pole vault champion.
Did you ever watch that program? It was called 20th Century's Battlefields or Battles.
Yeah.
And this is true as God. There's a train, right? There's a train that goes right through North Korea and South Korea, right? And there's a building right in the middle of it. That's where the border is between North and South Korea.
Yeah.
They've got two lads. They've got this room, no bigger than say 10 by 6 or something room, right? They've got two lads from North Korea on one side, two lads from South Korea the other side, and two guys either end with guns all looking at each other in this room. And if you go through one door, you're in North Korea. If you go through another door, you're in South Korea. It's the most weirdest bit, honest to God. Carl's saying, big up, Carl. It says North Korean VPN.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Probably. I found that out the other day. I meant to tell you, I just couldn't believe it.
It's probably Kim Jong-un. He's the only one that's allowed to watch the internet in North Korea.
Yeah, probably is. He's probably a Tottenham fan.
He's a closet Tottenham fan. Oh, yeah.
Maybe he is. We've got Mr. E. Hey, Dermatron. Hey, Philip. Where is everyone? I don't know where everyone is. I don't know. They're probably looking for Barney and Dino, who got lost in Germany somewhere tonight. The breaking news. They went into Berlin and they've never been seen again. So we don't know what's happened. So we will keep you updated on Barney the dinosaur's adventures in Germany. As I said to Colin before, Germany, dinosaurs loose in Germany, which made him chuckle.
Should make him feel at home.
Yeah. You can see Colin there busily writing the next Jurassic Park. Where's it located? Berlin.
Berlin, yes.
And then move to Munich. A bit like Del Boy and the Rhino Loose and Peckham.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, how are you all this evening, guys? A busy night in Champions League football the last couple of nights, Philip. Did you see much of it? Did you get round to seeing much of the Champions League?
I probably saw more of the Man United game than any other one because I was kind of busy. But what I saw of United, I couldn't believe what I saw. I'm sure Colin's going to say more about that. I mean, you anyone that allows Davinson Sanchez to create 2 goals, there's got to be something wrong. You know,
yeah.
your goalkeeper
Colin,
leaves a lot to be desired as well.
It is, Colin. Apart from Manchester United, any other results in the Champions League sort of went? Do you know what? I'm quite surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the United game. Well, I watched a Sunday League team from Manchester play Galatasaray, and I watched Newcastle as well. Newcastle, really massive credit to them. They played really well. That scoreline surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got Mystery E saying, my brother is a Liverpool fan, and although he admits we got rather lucky with VAR and refereeing, that Liverpool have had their share of help from them against us in the past. Yeah, well, there you go, Philip.
Yeah.
There's a few Liverpool fans that are...
I mean, we'll use the old league table for VAR decisions. Since VAR came in, Liverpool have a net plus 12 decisions in their favour. They've had 25 for and 13 against. Man United are second with 8 plus. And I forget who, I think Arsenal might be in there somewhere, but Spurs are minus 4. So we're a deficit of 4 decisions at the moment. So I think Liverpool should just put up and shut up now before anyone cops on that they're the ones that benefit most from VAR.
Yeah, that's so true. And Carl's saying, because Spurs haven't got any European football, we've had to keep busy. Philip's busy talking to his North Korean fan on Twitter, keeping them entertained and being the biggest fan in Moldova. And Chris here, Carl's here. He's just come back from belly dancing, and he says, I'm nailing it. So big up.
Jeez, I'm trying to get a vision in my mind about that, and I don't want to. I really don't want to. Carl, what are you doing?
Well, Carl's keeping busy, and I mean, where you and me be watching, well, you be keeping up with your fans in North Korea. I'm watching EastEnders and Coronation Street, just block recording them for Colin, while Colin's in some tin pot competition. Forget what they call it now. Is it the Champions League? It's non-existent because Tottenham are not in it. They've gone down a leg or two because Arsenal are in it as well. Sorry, Bobby, if you're watching. Hello. So yeah, belly dancing. What do you reckon, Colin? Carl doing a bit of belly dancing.
It's not a vision I want to see personally. What he wants to do behind closed doors, crack on.
Colin, if you've got any photographs of it, please keep them to yourself.
I don't know. Carl, send me a few pictures. We can stick them on the community section there in the video, and we'll get people to watch it.
X-rated over 18s version of that now. We need to have, I think,
Yeah, we are doing an over 18 show, so we can use it for that, Carl. Then Mystery E says, Man United are pretty exciting in attack, which they are, but have to have one of the worst defense in Premier League. Yeah. And he also says, I didn't realize those stats, Philip. Not surprising, though. Haha. Look,
no.
I think we've talked the VAR to death. Me and Mia had our own thing on it today. Just very quickly, Colin, from a Manchester United, well, I don't know if you want to call associated with Manchester United, but from a Manchester fan, I should say. What's your view on VAR and what happened on Saturday? I mean, do you feel sorry for the VAR officials? Do you feel sorry for Liverpool, or do you feel sorry for no one?
No, I mean, it's difficult because yes, I feel sorry for VAR, but they've brought it upon themselves by not using, the VAR that we're using the UCL or the World Cup, because that system's so much better. It's so much better. I don't feel sorry for Liverpool because I can't stand Liverpool. I cannot stand them at all. So, Liverpool fans, if there are any watching, suck it up, move on, and stop crying like a little baby and spitting your dummy out. It's over. Deal with it.
Now, there is a rule in the Premier League that they can call a replay. There actually is Mia read the rule out today. There is a rule within the Premier League rule book that you can get the game replayed, but they have to go through some many loopholes. The Premier League have come out and said there'd be no replay, so they've put a stance on that.
There can't be. Absolutely none.
And then yesterday as well, Colin and Philip, we had a Labour MP writing to Talk Sport because of what Simon Jordan said about victims. What's your thought on that? Is this just gone out of control, what happened on Saturday? Is it been blown out of all proportion before we do dump it finally?
Listen,
forever,
if it had been any other club but Liverpool, any other club but Liverpool, it would have been last heard of Monday evening. That's it, gone. But they're just perpetuating it. And that clown Klopp coming out yesterday saying he wants a replay. All he's doing is guaranteeing that Liverpool do not get a bad VAR decision given against them for the rest of the season. That's all they're looking for now. They know they're not going to get a replay. They can't get a replay. Because if that's the case, it's a can of worms and the season will never finish from replayed matches. So, get on with it. Move on. Life goes on. It's not the end of the world. We beat you fair and square. It's not as if we beat you with what do you call it? Okay, we did win with an own goal, I suppose. But like Spurs do win matches late on, and you're just another one of our victims. And I don't like calling Liverpool victims, but that's what they reckon they are all the time, anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean the thing is as well with this is the referees have now shot themselves in the foot. They really have, because look at it now. Any penalty, any 50-50 penalty that is given or not given to Liverpool or against Liverpool is going to be seen now as, well, they're trying to make up for that error.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly. And Klopp's put the pressure on them to do that.
Yeah. Now, am I right in saying, Colin, that they use a different system in Europe and the Champions League than they use in the Premier League? A different offside?
Yes, they do. They use a 3D model in the Champions League and in the World Cup, and it's so much better. A perfect example of it was in the Newcastle game yesterday. For that, I think it was their third or fourth goal. It was Burns' goal. Guimaraes looked offside. They showed the video, the VAR using the 3D, and you can clearly see that he's onside, and the goal stood. Yeah. And this is something I wanted to get into it when we get into that. Obviously, people are complaining and whatnot about how long it takes to review all this footage and that. Mm-hmm. Personally, I don't care whether it takes 30 seconds or 3 minutes. If their call after they've done this check is right, then I am happy. I'm happy if it's 3 minutes long because it's the right call, and that's what it took against. That's what Newcastle. It took them 2 minutes 40 some seconds, but the goal was allowed because it was the correct decision. I don't mind that. Honestly, I don't. We're not going to lose any time because they're going to add it on at end of game.
With this 3D model, though, it's easier to see, isn't it? It's a lot more better than the lines. And I mean, I read one thing, guys, that one VR decision was chalked off because this is hilariously funny, right? The VAR man drew the offside line the wrong way. Seriously, right? Can you please explain to me, Philip, how anybody, right, draw a straight line can draw it the wrong way? Do you think he must have been pissed drunk, or I don't know? Have you heard anything like it in your life? And only in the Premier League, mind you. You don't get this around Europe. Only in the Premier League. You look at Europe, you look at the Champions League, you look at the Europa League, Conference League. Use a 3D model. It works. Fair play. But
why don't they train up some? There's a lot of ex-footballers out there who wouldn't have made big money during their playing career because of the times they played. Why not recruit ex-players to become VAR officials? At least they bring a bit of common sense to the decisions. You know, I'm sure they could be easy enough trained up to do it. You know,
I like this from
mystery. The monkeys they have at the minute must have been trained, so they can easily do. They can train up the likes of, I don't know, Jason Cundy or someone. No, not him, because he'd never give a decision. Never give a decision against Chelsea.
Philip, look, I'm going to have to bench you in a minute if you keep mentioning that man's name. No, come on now, Philip. You're scraping the barrel. You're scraping the barrel with Jason.
I'm going to say lowest common denominator, but there are better players out there that could be trained up to look after VAR. You know, and let me see. Get a few Spurs players, like Mickey Hazard, likes of him. You know?
Yeah. We've got in Mystery says Klopp is a shameless. Anyone else would look back at themselves embarrassed. Maybe Klopp would get the 66 World Cup final we played until Germany
I heard
win.
he's asking for that. I heard he's asking for that. All right, you know.
Yeah. We've got a few new people in just before we get to them.
Oh, and
Philip,
World War II as well, by the way. World War II. Once
no,
that
no,
be played,
Philip, we'll leave that there. No, we're not going in that direction. Uncle Albert. You leave it there, Uncle Albert. He's starting again. He is starting again.
I'm only joking.
Oh, yeah.
Only joking.
Philip, it's a site. They kicked me out. They told me the Lycra was no what. We've got Gio Ria. Big up everyone. Big up Gio. We've got Carl saying, I feel bad for that Sulcan Karen. In charge of them. No, the hell. No, he is a tool. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Carl also says, I would love all the other clubs. They have to come out today and saying they need a replay for Liverpool's lucky decisions.
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Liverpool would definitely get additional favoritism from this, probably. I agree with this guy speaking. There you go, Colin. Another fan for you. That's 15. So that's 14. That's 14 Moldovians and Mr. EE. He also, I read that one. We've got FTJ. Go on, Spurs, Ange Ball. Big up. He's got a Man United and Celtic badge. If I play for Man United, we love you for supporting Celtic. So big up FGT. There you go. And who else we got in? And we've got the Aussie Gooner. VAR in the Premier League reminds me of an Elter sketch.
It's a sketch. Yeah, that's the thing. I used to when I was a kid. That's just sketch. Yeah. Draw your lines wherever you feel like.
I remember that. But imagine drawing the line the wrong way. I mean, you have to be pretty thick. Seriously.
Yeah.
Even Stevie Wonder could. Even Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles could draw the line properly.
He's featuring now in a minute, Dermot, so keep that one for later.
What, Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles?
Well, actually, no, Ray Charles is going to be his assistant. But you can bring up Collins Charles post there, and you see it.
We are gonna get banned off YouTube one day. Me and Philip are gonna go out in a blaze of glory one day. Yeah. LOL, Philip. That made me laugh. Carl says Stevie Wonder is the
That's what I'm saying. He's been assisted by Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Remember that there was a group back in the 70s, duo called Peters and Lee. He's the third man. Yeah.
And FTG says, thanks, mate. And Mr. E's welcome FJT. So big up. I like the Aussie Gooner. Big up. Where from Australia you're watching us, sir? Welcome. Welcome. And also a Man United fan and a Celtic fan. We love Celtic fans in this channel anyway, don't we, Philip?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mystery says, United doesn't do too well tonight this weekend, I'm afraid.
Well, I don't care what Rangers does, to be honest with you.
So.
Paul, I'm good. I'm glad. Paul Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, talented, but blind legends, always fairly compared with idiots. Yeah.
Anybody wants to see Ray Charles in action? I don't know that film. It's a classic film called The Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
And Ray Charles and all these are in it. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Stevie Wonder again. I love Superstition by Stevie Wonder. That's my favorite Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, bit of a pop Stevie Wonder, I believe. A bit of a diva. You know, not just all he's made out to be.
And FJT says, best of luck in the league, Spurs. Well, best of luck in the league to you, Man United. And yeah, best of luck. And look, maybe we'll get you on with Colin when we're doing the Man United Spurs game up at Old Trafford, or get you on for a podcast or something like when we do a Celtic Rangers game, me and Philip. You're more than welcome to join us. So, and everyone, Philip, where can they've got 2 memberships to pick up. How did they get their memberships? How much are they? And I let the Godfather tell everyone what they can do.
You always ask me this. I'm never prepared for this. It's $4.99 and $2.99 is the 2 membership levels. And on the $4.99 one, or is it you might get the chance to come on with Dermot and myself on a watch along, which should be fun. Especially if you're a fan of another team, that makes it more interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know. Any West Ham fans out there, that'd be good. Fulham are playing shortly. Any Fulham fans out there? Yeah. Just come along for the crack. I mean, we're very light-hearted with this. We don't take anything too seriously, except when Spurs lose, then we do get serious.
No, Philip just throws a tantrum and walks off. I mean, last season I had Philip, I'm not staying any longer. I'm gone. See you. Bye. That was Philip last. It wasn't he, Colin?
I think it was
Absolutely.
most.
Wow,
It was
that's me
most
this
of us
season.
last season. It was most of
Yeah.
us last season.
Yeah, it was. He's FG, so $2.99, as I said, cheaper than Netflix and Paramount Plus, all them digital services. What you do, you get yourself Chromecast, you get Movie Box Pro, and you just stream to your telly for free, and you get buy membership. But if you can't afford it, don't worry. We will still love you here, and hit the like button.
it.
That's what we want. Hit that like button. This is free. Hit it with a hammer. Hit it in the morning. Hit it at supper time. Hit it when you're going to, and also do the same on the Full Time Sports Network. Our partner channel, the best channel around apart from ours, the second best channel on YouTube. We're number one. I'm waiting for Colin to come out and say something.
I will speak to my lawyers before I.
Very wise,
Yeah.
Colin.
Are
Very
they
wise.
the Glazers, by the way?
No. If honestly, if I could, I'd hit them with a hammer.
Yeah. Mr. E, he says Celtic were so unlucky last night. Well, we are going to get onto that. All over them,
Yeah.
like a cheap suit. A winner chalked off just before conceding the goal. That lost them the match. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it was cool.
Football is really harsh sometimes. It is. It really is. We've got Carl say, Clubs, keep them coming, Carl, keep them coming. Klopp's favourite Stevie Wonder song I just called to say I want to replay. Coming from the bottom of my heart.
Isn't it a pity that you couldn't change that? I just called to say I want to replay, and I mean it from the bottom of the table.
Yeah. FTJ says done. Kyle says replay. That's what you meant. And then FJT's asking us, do you want to swap managers? Let me and Philip think about that for 2 minutes. Hang on.
Which club? Which club? Celtic or United?
No to both. No.
I don't want Ange. I don't want Ange.
Right. I'm not getting into that. That's due. You're just being silly now, Colin.
I'm not being silly.
You are. You've been
I'm
at
not.
the jungle juice again. Stop drinking jungle juice when you come onto a channel.
Never.
Right.
I need it after this week.
Yeah, you probably will do, and I might be joining you. Let's get through the results. That's Wednesdays. We don't want Wednesdays. We want Tuesdays. That's where we want. Now, these were the results. We're going to go through them, and then any matches we'll pick up and talk about it. Of course, Group A, the team in red 2, Galatasaray 3. I can't believe Sanchez getting 2 assists, but we'll get into that. And then Bayern Munich, of course, beating Copenhagen 2-1. Group B, PSV Eindhoven against Valencia was 2-2 draw. And then Lens, of course, beat that lot down the road. I forget what the name is, actually.
That's probably the surprise result of the night. Yeah, one of them, you know.
And they lost Saka as well. Yeah, and they lost Saka as well, didn't they?
He's injured, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll send them Duncan back too soon card.
Slowly.
Yeah. Group C, Philip, we've got Napoli, Real Madrid. That was a cracker of a game, 3-2. Really was a cracker of a game. Group C was actually the best group of the lot, I think.
Yeah, lots of goals.
Yeah, and then we've got the team down below. For the top of me, I can't remember. Do you know who the team down below are, Colin? Help me out here.
Oh, that's
I don't know where we're looking. Union Berlin, yeah.
Union Berlin versus Sporting.
Prague.
No,
yeah. Yeah, they're Sporting Prague, yeah. And then Group D, Inter Milan.
No, it's Braga.
Again.
It's Braga.
Braga, yeah.
And then Inter Milan, and of course, Red Bull Salzburg lost 2-0 and Milan won 1-0. Yeah. Look, Colin, we'll start with you with Manchester United. What went wrong?
Okay. Yay. Right. So anybody that's under the age of 18, please tune off now. I apologize for anything that I'm about to say that does offend anybody. Just get all that out of the way. So what happened?
We do not condone anything Colin says or does. This is nothing to do and doesn't represent me and Philip on THFC till I die.
Yes, it also doesn't represent FTSN. This is my own personal views. Yeah. Basically, what happened is Manchester United have a team full of immature fuck-ups. That's what Manchester United have. We have a goalkeeper who couldn't catch a fucking cold in the middle of winter if he's just come out of a lake. You know, that guy could walk into a shop that's got a 50% sale and still not make a save. He's terrible. I don't understand why we got rid of David De Gea. I really don't. What good is it, playing a 57-yard pass to feet if you can't play a 10-yard pass to feet? He's a complete muppet. He really is. And then we move upfield, and I blame Eric Ten Hag for this a little bit because, I support Eric Ten Hag. I will back him until I physically can't. But Eric Ten Hag needs to stop being a moron. He needs to pull his finger out and stop being a moron because he's playing a central defensive midfielder at left back. Who does that? You brought him in to play midfield to help Casemiro, and you're playing him at left back, you stupid tit. Play him where he's supposed to be playing. As you can tell, I'm not very happy. This has been building and building and building and building. I mean, the only shining light we have is Højlund. That is the only shining light we have at the moment. Bruno Fernandes is playing out on the right wing. He might as well go sit in the stands with the fans because he's basically a spectator there. He's useless as well, and he's so petulant that it's starting to annoy me. Marcus Rashford, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just deciding to go for jogs for 90 minutes. He don't really do anything, and then when he has got a chance to actually shoot on goal, he's one of what I have to explain to younger generations. That picture of Marcus Rashford through one-on-one. Last season, he would have buried it. What did he try and do? He tries to pass it. It's like Marcus, mate. We understand you're getting a lot of hate and everything, and it makes you not passing enough. But come on, you're a footballer on £350,000 a week. You should know you should be shooting from there. Don't be a stupid tool and try and play the stupid ball. Come on, wake up. But yeah, I mean, Onana's the biggest problem at United for me at the moment. Honestly, I don't understand how he's a pro goalkeeper. I really don't.
Right. I don't know how to follow that. But anyway, Philip, I'm going to keep you're up next. Out of that game, right, I was just going to say that for the Man United player to get sent off, have you seen more of a ridiculous goalkeeper error in your life than what you saw the Man United goalkeeper do Wednesday night? Because that was shocking.
It was up there. I'm not sure. It's probably not the worst, but I mean, he put Casemiro or whoever he passed the ball to in an impossible position. I mean, it was I don't know what he was thinking when he hit that pass. It's not as if he didn't have plenty of other options. He was under no pressure. And but like, what I don't understand is the mentality of now leaving. I know Nana's unforgivable what he did, but I watched the game and United go 1-0 up. Fair enough. Probably deserved to be 1-0 up. Then almost immediately it's 1 each. Right. Then they go and score another goal, which is disallowed for offside, which is unlucky. Okay, fair enough. Happens. Then they go 2-1 up, and you think, this is it. They're going to walk away with it now. But within about 2 minutes, that well-known midfield creator, Davinson Sanchez, has opened them up again with a long header up the middle that nobody seemed to know what to cover it, and 2 each. Of course, and then we had the penalty incident that came after Onana's mistake. But even at that stage, I still felt United were going to go on and win it. But I don't know. It's just defensively, they remind me of what Tottenham were like last season. Completely wide open at the back.
And to think that he nearly came to Tottenham, Ten Hag, I think we've got a lucky escape there, to be fair.
Well, I don't know. It depends. Like, he might react differently with different type of players he's got, But I'll tell you one thing, what United missed on Tuesday night, you missed Sergei Reguilon badly.
Yeah, you did. Opinion. I have to say they did.
You can play very well for you.
Yeah, FJT says, put it this way, I won't be watching versus Brentford.
He's not the only one.
Brentford's a very tricky place to go.
And then Carl says, I personally think Onana is a wonderful player. Well, we all know he's a choker. 2 mistakes against us. That's Champions League
Well,
semi-final.
Well,
Yeah.
just to put some clarity in this, Carl. You think he's a wonderful player. Onana has conceded 17 goals already this season. 17.
I think the smile after this comment is going to saying he means the exact opposite. To be honest with you, but United 17 goals. My God.
So, look, we'll go back to United in a minute and the Champions League. I've got a question for your column in that. Any other results on Tuesday that surprised you? Look, Bayern Munich, we all know that was a win and the top of the group. Lens beating Arsenal, Philip. Were you surprised by that result? Did you think Arsenal could get a result in Lens? And were you surprised that Lens actually beat them?
I thought Arsenal would go out there and win quite comfortably, but they didn't. And that was to me what the surprising result of Tuesday. Now, okay, I'll take Galatasaray. Galatasaray had never won a match in England before Tuesday night, as far as I know. I won a competitive match anyway.
Am I right in saying it's not? Am I right in saying it's not the first time Galatasaray have met Man United in the Champions League or the European Cup back in the day?
Yeah, we've met quite a few times.
Yeah. Any other results?
United normally win those games.
Yeah.
But United are normally a football team.
Yeah. And any other results, Colin, that shocked you? We thought, that wasn't a bad result or good game, or any other games Tuesday night that shocked you?
Well, I mean, there's no massive shocks, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, I think the game of the night was probably Napoli, Real Madrid. You got two massive powerhouses. Napoli, who obviously got to the have done quite decent for themselves, haven't they, recently? And Real Madrid. I mean, Jude Bellingham. He's on a different level.
He is. Do you know what? I think he's going to be the next greatest footballer ever, Jude Bellingham. If he keeps going on the trajectory he's going to at the moment, I think he's going to be the next thing for Messi, personally. That's my opinion. I think this kid is something special, Philip and Colin. He really is. He really is something special.
Oh, he is. I'm just watching the Liverpool game here, and the top half of the stand is completely empty at Anfield. There must not have a big crowd here at all. But just to go on, do you know Luis Diaz, the guy that had the goal disallowed on Saturday? Yeah. He's after going clean through, only the goalkeeper to beat, and he hit the post. So it's not his week. There's still 1-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah. So we've got Arsenal losing, guys. Inter Milan winning, of course. Red Bull Salzburg lost. Napoli winning. Then we go to Wednesday. And just very quickly on the United game. Sorry, just to quickly. Philip, did you see Dombele? He got asked at halftime, would he come on for the second half? It took him that long. Well, apparently, it took him that long to get dressed and ready. He only come on for 5 minutes of the game. Yeah. Now the rumor was he was still waiting for his onion rings from the Manchester takeaway round the corner, so that's why he wouldn't go on without them. But apparently,
but then again, he got 6 minutes, so that means his fitness must be improving. He normally lasts about 5.
He's got to lose a stone in weight, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now, there is breaking news tonight, Colin, that Dombele is on his way to Manchester United. Are you over the moon with that decision?
No, I'm not. Even though, in those 6 minutes of game time we did get, he still looked better than 99.9% of our team anyway.
That says a lot about Dombele. Let's see who's got the chat tonight. The chat's pumping. So listen, please hit the like button, subscription, beat a membership. And if you want to get ahead of the chat and put in a question from myself or Philip or Colin, you can put it into a super chat. Look, we all know times are hard out there. We will get your comments up. We try to bring everyone's comments up. We always do on this channel. But it does help us and it helps the channel grow. And it gets you to the head of the queue as well. Colin, hang on. We beat them 7-1 years ago. For FJT, Carl says, Colin, he is dreadful. Give the Turkish goalie a chance. I bet De Gea is having a right laugh. Yeah. I would have thought you would have gone for Bono. the
Well,
the Moroccan goalkeeper in the World Cup.
honestly, I was fighting tooth and nail on every single show I went on to keep David De Gea this season because I didn't want him to go because it is a shot stopper. That's what goalkeepers need to do. I don't care about playing out from the back and being able to play it to feet. I don't care none about a goalkeeper's job is to save shots. And if you've got hands like a sieve, like Onana has, then and you're conceding 17 goals in your first however many games, well, that's relegation form.
Well, United have been relegated before back in the 70s.
I hope we do. I hope we get relegated. I hope we do.
Jesus, that's quite harsh.
That won't happen, Damon. That won't happen.
It won't happen, but I hope we do because then, that's United are basically the Titanic. We're sinking. That's what we're doing. So let's just hit it with a couple of torpedoes, destroy it completely, and then rebuild from the ground up and rebuild it to how we should be, not what we are now. We're a franchise now, and that's not what Manchester United should be.
Mind you, we were saying that about our club last season, and look at this now. To be fair, we've got full-time. Look, I'm going to get on before we end. We'll go back onto Man United because there's a couple of questions, Colin, I want to ask you on that. That was Roma actually across the pond. Big up across the pond, the Sports Talk. What's up, Irish lads? Big up for doing the Euro reviews when you ain't in it. Well, me and Philip got a bit sentimental, didn't we, Philip? And we thought, do you know what? If Tottenham cannot qualify for the Champions League, me and Philip are going to get into the Champions League. But yeah, we are doing it. And that's from next week. We will be doing the Euros, the Europa, and the Conference League as well. Philip will give you the latest and all the results of the Conference League and the Europa League later on. He's been hard at work today getting that together. He's been all over the place. He's been in Germany getting the results from West Ham. He's been in with Brighton. I think Ferguson scored tonight as well, but we'll get to you in a minute, Philip, on that. We've got Misery. My colleague at work thinks Arteta is dense. He is a Lego man. Tinky Winky, Lego Tinky Winky man. That's who he is. Because he's been overplaying Saka until he's barely able to walk. Just very quickly on that, Philip, on Saka. Look, you got the international break coming up next week. Do you think the best thing for Saka is not to pick him for the international England side and give him a complete 2-week rest?
Well, if he's injured, he won't be picked.
Yeah.
If he's injured, it's trouble just hold him back, as they should do. So no, I don't think that would be. I don't think I don't know how bad his injury is now. To be honest with you, I didn't hear, but if he's injured, don't bring him. Don't bring him. Just keep him. It makes sense,
Southgate has picked him in his squad.
Oh God! Well, it's up to the club to pull him out of it then.
Yeah.
But that for me, it's a bit like Stephen Kenny, our great manager. Do you know he's wonderful? Don't worry, next week I'm having.
You'll have enough to talk about him next week.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting on the Kenny rant. Don't worry about that. Arteta is the reason why Arsenal lost the title last season. He's useless. Exactly. As I keep calling her, he's Lego Tinky Winky man. Just keep him there. Even the refs in the Champions League that are from England are not doing well. Philip, look, even the refs that have got UEFA standard and FIFA standing now, why are the officials so bad? Where years ago, England had probably one of the top refs going for World Cup finals and European Championships. It was always a good section of. Why has it been in decline? Do you think the ref? You could go across the world, Philip. There's no referee you can say he's the best referee in the world, like we used to have with that bald-headed Italian fella who had eyes. He looked like a scarecrow. No, Galini.
Galini. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it's got to go down to the recruitment. Where are they getting these guys from? Like, you very rarely. I don't know. Has there ever been an ex-professional footballer has actually gone onto the FIFA list as a refereeing in England? I don't remember ever seeing one. It's amazing that the guys that are coming into the referee have not played soccer or football at a high standard, and yet they're expected to referee games that there's millions depending on the result of a match. So that to me doesn't make sense. You should have more ex-professionals. Same as doing the VAR thing. Get the ex-professionals in to train up as referees. They should be fit enough when they've retired.
Yeah.
And yeah,
go on, Philip. Sorry. No, go on. Sorry.
No, I was going to say the guys that are coming through. I think the media pressure that they're under as well maybe some of them can't hack it. I mean, every game is televised now, regardless where it is. Every game is televised. Every move they make is scrutinized, analyzed to the nth degree, and the likes of Saturday absolutely dissected. Whereas in the years gone by, you might have 2 games on Match of the Day, and that was it. So if you made a cock up in the match, chances are nobody got it. Now every mistake is there to be amplified, talked about on social media, and that does put pressure on guys. They're only human. Well, most of them are anyway, like the rest of us. But so maybe the training end of it appears to be a little bit lacking, and the common sense end of it certainly is. End of rant.
End of rant. Well, look, it's about Villa Park, Prince William's there, and 0-0 still. Philip, what's the latest from all the other Europa and Conference League games?
Liverpool are winning 1-0, but they're not getting it their own way. Look at this Union Galini, whatever you call them, from Belgium, are giving them a good game. So I'll run down the scores at the moment. As we know, Freiburg 1, West Ham 2 as a result. Marseille 2, Brighton 2. A good result for Brighton. They were 2-0 down at half time and came back to an equaliser with a penalty in the 88th minute by João Pedro. Ferguson came on as a sub but didn't score. And let's see, Liverpool still 1-0 up. Rangers were beaten 2-1 in Cyprus by Aris. And again, they weren't great, what I saw of it. And in the Conference League, Aston Villa are still drawing 0 each, I think, with 1 minute of injury time gone. Aberdeen just equalised against HJK of Finland, so it's 1 each there. So that's the up-to-date position with the British clubs anyway. I'm just looking for any other ridiculously silly score lines, but there's not really. There's a team called Nordsjælland. I presume they're from Norway or somewhere up there. 7-1, they beat Ludogorets of Bulgaria. So that's the biggest result of the night. And Fenerbahce have just scored a third in their match against Trnava, whoever they are. So that's it. Over and out to you, Dermot.
Thanks, Jeff.
You've gone silent, Dermot. You're muted.
Sorry. Unprofessional. I want Saka to avoid injury. He's a great player for England. Don't wish injury on any player, but Saka is great for England. But Arteta has to stay at Arsenal so they can remain.
Well, that's true.
I love that. Carl's saying, Philip, the crowd are getting ready for their night match to London to get their that replay.
Our man Jota has just scored for Liverpool.
Yeah, there's a link between him and Tottenham actually at the moment. I'm trying to find more on that. Yeah, I read Jota. There's a link. Yeah.
No. This is Jota, Liverpool Jota, not the other Jota.
I'm talking about Celtic Jota.
No, he's after scoring for Liverpool.
Well, I'm just saying Jota from Celtic.
Oh yeah, but no, I'm just saying he's after scoring. Let's see, is he onside or offside? No, he's onside.
Be onside, but give it a disallowed goal just to rub it in a bit more.
Yeah, just rub it in. You'll get this one.
Across the pond, Spotty said Spods are having Jaguars against Billy Boys at the stadium this Sunday. Now, Philip,
we don't respond to that name. I presume you're talking about Tottenham Hotspur. There's a big American football game at the ground on Sunday.
We did say we would do one American watch along on this channel. Now, I don't know if that will be the one, but I forgot the football.
No, I don't. I tell you, it won't be for me anyway because I'm committed to watching Arsenal and Man City on Sunday.
We may even do a watch along to that, Philip, if you want. on Sunday.
Yeah, it could be a bit of crack, all right. Yeah,
Might do
yeah.
that. He's
Yeah.
good. He's good. Yeah, man. Paul Dave got the Golden Glove last season. That's about De Gea. Cross upon. Agree with Colin. Look at all these keepers. Everyone was saying better with their feet, like Onana and Raya. They're making mistakes. Give me De Gea, Ramsdale, and Alisson any day. And you cannot forget our keeper as well.
Vicario, yeah. Vicario's such a good goalkeeper. He's such a good goalkeeper.
Yeah. I mean, Philip, the great man got his CBE today up in Northern Ireland. Pat Jennings got his CBE today. Was it CBE or an OBE? I can't remember which. Is one of the two.
He has one already. He's got an MBE already, I think.
Yeah, so he got a CBE. So, look, you've said that a Vicario is like Pat Jennings with his feet. If Vicario can get to anywhere within a tenth of Pat Jennings, we have a diamond on our hands.
Oh, yeah, we have a good goalkeeper. And, when you think back, he hadn't even played a game for Spurs, and half the fans were dissing him because we didn't go for Raya. Now, I bet they're eating their words now a bit.
Yeah. I want to say big up to Tequila, 316, big up Tequila. And he says, United lost again, just to rub it in a bit, though. He says, comedy show, United probably, and they're doing the Spurs. And our mate F2 says, I know. Right.
Just before you move on, just on about Vicario, the biggest compliment I can give Vicario from my perspective is the way he saves and uses his feet and everything to save. It reminds me of Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Peter Schmeichel, one of the greatest goalkeepers Man United, if not the greatest goalkeeper Manchester United have ever had.
Yeah.
You really think so?
Certainly up there.
Yeah, he's definitely up there.
Like Alex Stepney was a great keeper for you as well. And you've had a good few. But no,
Schmeichel's in that treble winning side, though, isn't he? So I think it puts him slightly ahead.
Yeah. Now,
Wednesday night, lads. What a result, lads. Some great games here. Man City, Atletico Madrid, Celtic were very, very unlucky. But I think the result of the round is at St. James's Park. 20 years since their last Champions League game up there, Philip. And they go and not beat Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. They dismantled them. They tore them apart. And they put Mbappe back into his pram with his dummy in his mouth and crying all the way back to his bed bugs in Paris. How impressed were you with that result on Wednesday night from Newcastle? And firstly, did you think they could do it?
Yeah, I don't rate PSG at all. I never have. I think they're a team of individuals who can't spell the word team. They're a bunch of egos in the dressing room that one's trying to be outdo the rest, led by the arch ego himself, Kylian Mbappe. So I wasn't a bit surprised. A wet Wednesday night in Newcastle, the last thing they wanted. They prefer a nice sunny day in Paris at home when they can boss teams. But I reckon on the road now, they are going to get mullered by a couple of teams. I wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund did them. So maybe, I don't know who their first game was against now, but I have no faith in Paris Saint-Germain. They're not going to win the Champions League this season again, which means they'll be through another manager again, because that's the only resume you have to show. I think you have to show in your resume, I will win the Champions League for you. Because to win, they're a bit like Celtic in Scotland. They win the French league without even opening their eyes every season. But I'll tell you, fair dues to Newcastle. Caught them cold last night and gave them a right hammer, and maybe should have been more.
Now, that may change in France because Marseille are going to be took over by a Saudi takeover, and Zinedine Zidane has been offered a 300 million war chest at Marseille, Olympic Marseille, to bring them back up. So maybe PSG might get a bit competition. Colin, look, any other games there? Look, you got Barcelona beating Porto 3-2 away. You got Man City, of course, beating the other Red Bull Leipzig team in Germany 3-1. Apart from the Celtic Group E now, Celtic losing at home to very unluckily against Lazio, was the Madrid final game in Spain. That was a cracker of a match and some great goals in that game, actually.
Yeah, by the looks of it, it was a really, really good match. I mean, obviously it's not the one that I watched. Obviously, I watched the Newcastle Paris game because I wanted to see how Newcastle would do. I did flick between that and the City game as well. But yeah, I mean, when you looked at Feyenoord and you saw they got Atletico Madrid, you know, nobody were expecting a close scoreline. I don't think, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people would have backed Atletico to comfortably win it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I can just talk about the City game, just
Yeah, of course
for
you can.
so I mean, this is what Haaland's not scored again. Again, I mean, there's an issue there, and City only won that game because they had Rodri. Without Rodri, they're terrible. Honestly, I fear for obviously City play Arsenal at the weekend. I actually think Arsenal will beat them. I know that's swearing on each channel, but I do.
No.
I think they'll beat them because they haven't got Rodri.
Can I just stop you two there? Villa have nicked it at the very end in their game. They've nicked it.
5 minutes of injury time.
Yeah, John McGinn has got the winner for Villa. So Villa have won 1-0 at the very, very end. So sorry, Colin and Philip, I didn't mean to overtalk you.
It's all right.
Go on.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Go on then, Colin. Carry on. Sorry.
But yeah, I fear for City without Rodri because they've got a massive hole in that midfield when he doesn't play. And again, yeah, massive credit to Newcastle. I know obviously PSG have seemed to have a curse on them in this league, but in this competition. But from minute one, literally it was from minute one, Newcastle pressed them, closed down the space, and PSG could not live with them at all.
Yeah. Look, we are getting here that Jota is about to be released from his Saudi contract, and we're all over it. Apparently, I am going to ask the question of our source, so I will hopefully get an answer on that. Getting Jota in, would that be another piece of the jigsaw for Big Ange to take us to another level, Philip?
Absolutely. Not long as that other Jota, who we shall remain nameless, yeah, it'd be a good buy, especially with the problems that we're having defensively, or not defensively, with our wingers getting injured, like Solomon's injured, Brannan's out, chance to talk of Son not been fully fit. So yeah, I'd jump on him. I think Jota was a great player for Celtic last season, and he's a free agent now, so we can sign him.
Lampard to take over Rangers just for the laughs. Colin, do you reckon that could be where Lampard's heading to next?
Sure, why not? Go ruin your career even more.
Yeah, that's true. And Carl said, just heard PSG have been in contact with Klopp about getting a replay because it was too cold.
Yeah, the rain wasn't the right shape either. The raindrops weren't the right shape.
Philip, any other results there Wednesday night that sort of, you looked and you went, wow?
No, well, okay, the bigger wow was Newcastle, obviously, Man City would be expected to beat Leipzig. Shakhtar Donetsk winning away, that was a good result for them.
Yeah.
Given all their troubles. And the Barcelona game was a good one against Porto as well. So, yeah, some good games there. It's good to see lots of goals. There's not only 1-0 all draw in the entire group.
Yeah. And Celtic, how unlucky were they?
They're unlucky. They're unlucky. I mean, having a goal that's allowed and then 20 seconds later giving away a goal at the other end, that was tough,
I say Brendan Rodgers would be doing his not. Well, they were all the results. We're now going to show you all the league tables now. Just give us 2 seconds.
Hold on. Let me leave a second. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, we'll show them. Don't worry, Colin.
The Manchester in this position, turn their eyes away now.
Yeah. If you are Manchester United, please shut your eyes for the next 20 seconds. Group A, Philip, Bayern Munich are ahead with 6 points. Galatasaray on 4. Copenhagen on 1, and United 2 out of 2, no points. Top 2, do you think coming out that group? Who do you think will be the top 2 there, Philip?
At the minute, you've got to say the 2 that are there at the moment, although that can change. I mean, I'm not writing United off yet. I think, let's face it, the only way up for United is up now. They cannot get any lower than they are at the minute. And so if they have any pride in their game at all, they'll come back in the next couple of matches. So, no, I'd say Bayern Munich and Man United will go to that group. Yeah. There's still 4 matches to go, remember.
I'm glad you've got faith, because I don't. I don't think United's going through.
I still think they'll come good.
I don't. Honestly, I don't. I think in order for us to go through now, we need to beat Copenhagen home and away. We need to get a result at Bayern, and we need to beat Galatasaray away from home. That's not happening.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I have more faith than you have, but
Yeah. Now, Group B, Colin, Lens top with 4 points, Arsenal with 3, Seville with 2, and PSV with 1. Tight group, Group B. Where would you see the top 2 in that? And because isn't it the top 2 and the third one goes into the Europa League, or is it the Conference League to go into?
Europa, I believe. Yeah. I mean, I'd say, really, looking at the teams, not just looking at the table, just looking at the teams, you'd expect Seville and Arsenal to be 1 and 2. But maybe it's Lens and Arsenal as it stands at the minute. But that's a very, very tight table.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Group C, Philip, Madrid on 6 points, 2 out of 2. Napoli and Braga on 3 points each, 1 win and a loss. And of course, Union Berlin, 2 out of 2 defeats down the bottom. Look, we know.
Probably,
well, no, not really, Philip. Madrid probably will get through, but where would you see out of Napoli and Braga to go? They're both on 3 points. They're on the exact. But the thing is, Philip, 1-1, lost 1, 4-4 against, 3 points. They're on exactly the same everything.
It was only Napoli are better than Braga. Napoli will get the better results.
Yeah,
I think they'll be okay. Plus, they've had their game. They've had the one game against Real Madrid as well. So
yeah.
Here
we've got Group D column even tighter. Real Sociedad and Inter on top, 4 points each. Sociedad are up there because of the better goal difference. Salzburg on 3 points and Benfica on nothing, 2 out of 2. Look, for me, I think that it might be. Look, I'm going for Salzburg and Inter to get into that out of that group, and Real Sociedad to finish third. What do you reckon? It's a tough group, isn't it? It's a very tight group again.
It is a very tough group. I'm quite surprised Benfica haven't managed to get a point on the board. To be honest with you, because they're a half decent team. But yeah, I don't know. I think Sociedad and Inter will go through, simply because all they've won 1, drew 1, whereas the other teams have both lost a game. So it's heavily in their favour. Yeah. But football's a funny game. We'll see.
Now, Philip, we're going into Celtic's group. Celtic, of course, bottom of the group, but they're not too fine finaled for that Europa League place. Do you think it'd be the top 2, Madrid and Lazio? Do you think Feyenoord might have a say in that?
Feyenoord might have. I think Celtic have got a mountain to climb there. I don't think Celtic will even get out of into the third spot for the Europa League. So, yeah, I think Atletico and Lazio are bankers to come out of that group.
Yeah.
And with Feyenoord to finish third, I'm afraid. Although I'd love to see Celtic coming up, but can't see it.
No. We've got Group F. Newcastle column, top of the group, 1 win, 1 draw, 4 points. Paris Saint-Germain on 3, Milan on 2 after 2 draws. They haven't even scored in the Champions League yet. Both games ended 0-0, which is I'm still can't get over how we didn't beat them last year in the quarterfinal in that round. And never, I'm not even going there.
Yeah.
And then Dortmund with 1 point. It's not how I thought the group would be, Colin, to be fair. I thought Milan and Paris Saint-Germain might be up there with maximum points, and Newcastle probably in third place. Look, can Newcastle get out of that group by winning it?
I think Newcastle win that group. I really do. If they play, we'll see. Because I mean, that were a home game as well, the first time in a while. But yeah, I think Newcastle win it, and I think Milan still second, and I think PSG don't qualify.
Yeah,
that'd be a shock, wouldn't
it? Where would you look? Can you see Paris Saint-Germain falling into the Europa League?
Yeah, I can absolutely. Because let's face it, they have got 3 of the hardest of that's a group of death, really, compared to the rest of them. They've got to play Dortmund, I know that they beat Dortmund in the first. They beat Dortmund, didn't they?
Yeah. Well,
Go back
these are the games Newcastle won. They beat Dortmund at home 2-0, and of course they lost. The next game is the home to Milan, Newcastle are home to Dortmund. So you really would say 3 points there for Newcastle.
That's a brilliant bit of scheduling for Newcastle to get a home game coming after the PSG one. Because that virtually guarantees them 7 points. They'll beat Dortmund. I think Newcastle will win that group, and I think there could be a shock. I think that the PSG could be the ones to fall by the wayside there and only finish third.
We've got because PSG are home to Milan and then away to Milan. Then on the next round of fixtures. Then of course this is the final group. Newcastle home to Milan, Paris Saint-Germain away to Dortmund. Yeah. Could it all come down to the last game? Yeah, but
Dortmund is a hell of a place to go.
Yeah,
so's the San Siro, in all fairness.
Yeah.
Could it all come down to them last two games for Paris and to do anything on Newcastle to win that group?
It might do. It might well do. I think that's an awful kick in the teeth for PSG last night. Can they recover from it?
Sorry, I'm just getting the groups up again. Sorry. There you go. That's actually even better, actually. How right, isn't it? Anyway, sorry. Just lining them up here now. Again. So we only got one more group to do now, and I think that is, if I'm right.
Two more.
Group G, Man City top of their group. Column. Leipzig second, 3 points. Then Young Boys and Caneva Zabida on 1 point. Look, really top two through, and then Young Boys for the Europa League.
Might as well stop that group already. Those two are going to go through top two.
Yeah.
Leipzig and Man.
When you look at that group and you look at the teams in them.
Belgrade, isn't it? Partizan Belgrade, isn't it? That bottom team. Oh, hang on. Sorry, love.
Right, I'll take Philip out there. Go on, Colin.
Yeah, I was just saying, when you look at that City group, the two at the bottom are free hits, aren't they? Basically, so you expect them two to go through. Yeah,
and then Group H, Philip, Barcelona. This is a really tricky group as well. Barcelona, of course, had 6 points, but 2 and 3 on equal points. Porto really headed them on a better goal difference than Shakhtar Donetsk. Philip, you saw them pre-season against Tottenham. Can you see them get the second spot?
I hope they do. If nothing else, just for the morale of their country folk. Because you have no idea we have an idea what they're going through. And the fact that one of their teams is doing well in Europe will give them something to cheer about. So I sincerely hope Shakhtar Donetsk go through, because if you saw the reaction at the stadium the day they played there, I mean, the crowd was in tears at the national anthem and everything. It was a lovely sight to see, and I've got a soft spot for them, and I hope they do. I hope they get through.
Yeah, Colin.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I think Barcelona win it, obviously.
Yeah,
but I think Shakhtar do steal second, and I hope they steal second. I really, really do.
Well, there you go. They're all the groups, actually. So, look, I've got a couple of questions here. Philip, we've got a few to go through, so we'll get through these quickly. We're going for another 10, 15 minutes, and then with that podcast, with the first episode 1 of the Champions League review podcast will be done. Philip and Colin, look, for me, PSG are full of egos. They're not a team, as Philip says. They're like the Galacticos of Real Madrid back in the early 2000s for me. Look, Colin, I'll start with you, Philip. I'll let you end on this one. Why has PSG become a poison chalice of European football?
Well, I think they've been a poison chalice for a long time, haven't they? If you look at it, this PSG in this competition, like I said earlier, they seem to have a curse. They really do. They never perform how they should perform. When you look at the players that they've had over the years, obviously they've got Mbappe, who's probably the biggest diva in football anyway. But even when they had Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar, Messi's won things everywhere he's gone, and even he couldn't help PSG win the Champions League. They are truly cursed, and they will, as far as I'm concerned, as long as I live, PSG will never win this trophy ever.
One of the Lens fans had a Tottenham screensaver. Carl just sent it to me. It was really funny against Arsenal. I love it, Carl. Well done. Philip, look, you know about Bars. You're not PSG's biggest fan. Where do you think it's gone so wrong for them? Because about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, nobody heard of them. Oh yeah, you heard of PSG, but not like you hear them now, Philip. It was Marseille that were atop of the league, winning everything. Where do you think the problem is for PSG to get them like they are? Is it just one player that's the all in the ointment, or do you think the whole club's rotten? Even their ultras want some of these Galacticos out, don't they?
Listen, you're absolutely you're not being fair to the Galacticos. That was a team at Real Madrid of Galacticos, not a bunch of individuals. So to call a PSG Galacticos is an insult to the name, because this PSG team is driven by money, right? They're all probably bitching in the dressing room as one of them's earning 5,000 a week more than he is. They're not a team. They're full of egos. Pochettino was never going to succeed at PSG. I don't think any manager can succeed at PSG. As Colin said, they're a bit like Mayo and the All-Ireland Dermot. They're never, ever going to win this Champions League.
Thanks, Philip.
Because
Thanks.
I'm using them as an example,
They're the most overhyped team. You could have picked any other fucking sport, but no, you have to pick on Tiny Mayo. Well,
no, but I'm just saying, Mayo are the GA equivalent of PSG. So not so close, but not so far. The only difference is everybody wants Mayo to win the thing. Nobody wants PSG to win it because they're a crowd of overhyped crybabies.
You could have picked Kildare.
Led by Mbappe.
You could have picked Kildare as an example to PSG.
Kildare. Listen, no, Mayo are the go-to team for the comparisons, and I'm afraid. Sorry if I offended you, but that's just the way it is,
Mayo with the Tottenham of the GAA, you know that, Philip.
We've won more trophies than Mayo. Haven't won anything since 1951.
Well, the last time mind you, that's the first time Spurs won the league.
That was a good year.
It was a good year for me. I can remember it well. It was me up in Ballycastle drinking Guinness as Spurs won the league and Mayo won the All-Ireland. Wow.
1951. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Anyway. No, I
get your point. I get your point. I mean, look, for me, PSG are laughing stock, really. Carl Simpson says that James McLean is retiring from international football for Ireland in November. Yeah, and
what's that? That game's on the 22nd of November, by the way. That's the 21st of November. That game against New Zealand. He's taken the on. It's a Tuesday night.
I'll go to that, see his last game. And then Carl says, it's like Wexford Tiddlywink team. They ain't winning shit. Look, you've got Philip having to go and be Mayo. Now, Carl's having to go. I don't know what. Mayo and Wexford are the best counties in Ireland. You lot can go and play your Tiddlywinks somewhere in Kildare or Laois or in Dublin or in Cork. Go back to Cork.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, mate. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Cork think there should be their own country anyway. Do you think there should be an independent country of Ireland?
What's that say about rest of Ireland if Cork wants to leave it?
If Cork want to leave, we'll cut them off the bottom of Ireland, let them float off somewhere. That's fine.
They'll still put a better team out than Man United.
Yeah, probably would do. Yeah. Man United's lost column. Does that leave more questions than answers for Ten Hag?
Oh God, how many times have I been asked this question?
I thought it was a good question, actually.
Well, yeah, it does. It does, but I mean, I'm worried. I really am. We can't afford to lose another manager because we're just going in a circle and a circle and a circle. But I've seen a comment made by Ten Hag today, and it really, really does worry me. His comment today was he can't be harsh on the players because he's scared that he'll upset them. They was his words, basically. And you can't be like that. You can't, any player that's basically, going to get butthurt because Eric Ten Hag's had a go at them because they're playing absolutely appallingly, and it's not how Man United play. But I've got some words for you guys. I don't care whether you're Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Rashford, whoever. I've got some words for you. If you can't take criticism, get the fuck out my club, because you don't deserve to be there. There are millions and millions of people that wish they could play in that Man United shirt, and you're getting paid a fortune for doing so, and you're turning up every week, and putting in a lackluster performance.
Yeah, fair enough. Philip, if you need to go, me and Colin can wrap up.
Something's cropped up. I need to head off here, but I enjoyed that. That was good fun, and Colin, always a pleasure.
Yeah,
always a pleasure.
Me and Philip are back tomorrow for with a pre-match build-up. Yeah, well, bugger off you. Bugger off to your Tom Jones International Committee meeting you're going to have now. What your next outfit you're going to wear next?
No, it's the Roger Taylor Appreciation Society, actually. Man.
Oh, is it really? Right. Okay. Or not the Stevie Wonder one, though?
No, that's tomorrow night. Okay.
Okay. All right.
See you, lads. All the best.
Philip, I'll speak to you later. Take care.
All the best, Colin. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye. How come I've ended up on the bottom here? This is a bit... Oh, that's better. Go back there. Getting a bit... You bugger, Colin. Dermot likes to play with his tiddlywinks under the cockerel clock.
It's got you again.
Got me again. You bugger. Just wrap it up very quickly. Look, for me, Ten Hag, I think it's answered. I think it's more questions for him than answers. Colin, I think United in the Champions League have been really found out how bad they are.
I think United all season's been found out how bad we are. Not just the Champions League.
Look, for me, Colin, it's like United need a season out of Europe, like we have, to reset. And I think that's what you won't get that because United are always going to be up there anyway.
I don't think we will. I don't think we're qualifying out of this. I don't think we're going to get third. And I think I said at the beginning, before we even kicked the football, I think we'll be lucky to finish 8th.
Yeah. I probably agree with you on that. And look, that's not because I'm a Spurs fan, United fan. I think as a football fan, United are in a complete mess and a time bomb. And I think something massive is going to explode at Old Trafford very soon. And I think Ten Hag, sadly, is going to be in the collateral damage of that. Well,
hopefully it's the Glazers that explode.
Well, look,
that'd be nice.
Yeah, but the thing is, can you see the Glazers sort of sacking Ten Hag to save their own skin?
Well, I don't think they can. I think Eric Ten Hag's got too much support behind him from the United fans. I know there's some complete morons and people with the IQ of I don't know, Don Belly or something out there that are calling for Eric Ten Hag to be sacked already, which isn't the way that we should be going. It's really not. We need to focus everything on the people who own the club. The people that couldn't afford anything, so we had to get Amrabat on loan. We couldn't afford that. We had to sell talented youth players to bring in a loan player. That shows you how bad the club is run. The club, Manchester United, is rotten from top to bottom.
Yeah, I bet you Fergie is crying his eyes out.
Well, he probably is, but Fergie's facilitated this as well. Fergie's not out of the limelight. Fergie's got an answer for it as well. He has the ability to. If he got behind the Glazer out movement, you'd see a lot more. But he hasn't. He hasn't got behind it because he thinks they're decent people. So Fergie has to hold his hands up for this as well. And I know a lot of United fans won't like me saying that. I don't like saying it, but it's facts. It's true.
United are that. Look, we are going to do a podcast probably next week during the international break on the United thing, and how bad it is up at Old Trafford. And probably will Colin be in contact with you the next day, so and organise that and sort that out, because I think there's a lot more you want to say, and there's a lot you want to get out, so we can understand as a football fans how bad it is up at Old Trafford. So look, wait for that. We may do something, a debate on that next week, actually. So we'll work something out on that column.
Yeah.
Are Celtic already out the Champions League? I think they are, personally.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get into the Europa League. It looks like both Scottish clubs will be out of Europe before Christmas, which is really how bad Scottish football is. They've never, apart from Aberdeen winning the Cup Winners' Cup, Scotland have never had a good run in Europe. Apart from the 90s, I think Rangers had a good run in the European Cup of the Champions League. Does it show how out of depth Scottish football is that their two major teams are out of Europe every year before Christmas?
Well, yeah, I think it does. I think the best thing for Scottish football is an injection of top, well, maybe not top talent because it won't go there, but you know what I mean, like really good foreign players. I think that's probably the best way, because it's when you look at it, it's helped the Premier League get to where it is. You know, a lot of these top quality foreign players coming in has helped progress the Premier League to where it is. This is why Premier League teams get a bit further. Unfortunately, in Scotland, there's only ever two teams competing, and it's not even really competition. You know, Rangers and Celtic are the equivalent, you know, to a mid to low table Premiership side at times, and they're playing teams that are equivalent to Championship and League One sides. It's the competition is not there. So when they come against these big boys or whatever you want to call them in the Europa leagues, the Champions Leagues, Conference Leagues, they're out of depth.
And Carl's saying this is why Ten Hag has got Colin coming in with that motivational.
Yeah, that's why Ten Hag has got Colin coming in with a motivational speech.
Yeah.
If he wants to hire me.
Yeah. You got me going. Daniela Zito says, my prediction for Luton Tottenham is Luton 0, Tottenham 3. Coys, I'm still curious what our front three will be with the all injuries. I was saying it earlier. Maybe this is a game he could try the youngsters in. Look, Luton's Luton. Luton, okay. It's a tricky game. It's a banana skin. But we still should have enough quality to beat a team like Luton.
Yeah, you should. You should. This game against Luton is the perfect. And I'm not his biggest fan. You know, I've criticised him on this channel, but this is the best game and the best time for Richarlison to get some confidence. He could go to Luton and score a bag full.
Yeah, he could. Now, look, for a front three, I think it will be Kulu, Richarlison, or even put Richarlison on the wing and put Velez up front.
Yeah.
That would be my front three, to give Maddison and Sonny a rest and let them get over their injuries. That's my prediction. But of course, me and Philip will have more tomorrow on our pre-match show. Carl's saying, let's not fool ourselves. Ferguson has been involved in the managing situation at United for years. That's so true, isn't it, Colin? Fergie's had his fingerprints in there. Look, for me, I agree with you. Fergie should not escape any criticism here. He thinks he can hide behind all the success he brought United, and yet he did bring a lot of success to United. But he was the ones that facilitated the Glazers to come into United in the first place.
Exactly. You know, he facilitated them in. Yes, okay. We hold massive respect because of what he did for Manchester United. But how long ago is that? You know, we're talking decades ago. And then he brought in the successor, that was David Moyes, who did nothing. And ever since then, we've had manager after manager after manager who's done nothing. And the one time we got somebody in that was honest and open with the fans and told the fans how it really was, the people that Sir Alex facilitated got rid of him because they didn't like it.
Mm.
And now Ten Hag's being stifled.
I look, as I said, next week we are going to do a debate on this. It's more about the owners, but Man United, I think, it's an interesting subject to get into, because I think there's so much meat in the bones here to talk about, Colin, about the Glazers, Ten Hag, past managers at United, the Glazers, how bad they've been for British football and the biggest club in Europe, if not the world, and how they're near bankrupt, not bankruptcy, but probably a stronger word for it, Colin, but near administration, for what you told me and Philip
Well,
a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, this is what I mean. You know, we've gone from being one of the biggest and one of the most successful football clubs in the world to being the biggest franchise in the world. I was speaking to a lot of United fans. I'm in the United fan chat, and basically how I explained it, if there's any NFL fans in here, they'll understand what I'm going to say. So in NFL, so a team like the Green Bay Packers or somebody like that, I don't know whether that's the name, I think it is, but they earn money for their owners every single year. They don't have to win the Super Bowl because their fans turn up every single year regardless, and they earn money every single year. That is what the Glazers have turned us into. They have turned us into an NFL franchise. We are basically the equivalent of the Green Bay Packers.
And we get some of our fans criticize our owner for trying to do the same thing at Tottenham. But I think United fans would take Daniel Levy in a heartbeat, wouldn't they?
Oh, damn right. I'd take Daniel Levy tomorrow. I really would. Because, yes, okay, he's made some mistakes, but how much money has he took out of the club?
Yeah. Look, if you, I would love to put the comparison between. I will do it, all right, and I'm going to find that the net spend of the Glazers and the net spend of Daniel Levy. Me and Colin will probably work on this. I'll tell you what, Colin. Next Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll do this as a debate. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
I'm rarely sort of put this or even do it on the Monday night podcast. I think it's a great talking point for a podcast, actually. And really, I would love to know the net spend of what the Glazers have put into United and taken out, and how much Levy has put in and took out, Levy and Enoch. I would love to see the comparisons between the two, because I think some Spurs fans would be really shocked of how much the Glazers have taken out of Man United. I mean, you look at Old Trafford; it's fallen down by its ear-rolls.
Yeah, it's literally falling apart. You can go on Twitter. There's loads of posts on Twitter. People were sat there on the weekend watching the game, and the rain was literally falling on their lap through the holes in the roof.
That for me is shocking. Lo Celso in the cam. Then I don't think he's quite back yet. No, he's not back yet. He is a doubt for that game on Saturday. Me and Mia went through on our pre-record at 4. If you want to go back and watch that and give that a watch, me and Mia went through that. We've got Jared O'Connor, Man United. Eric Dyer is available. He's a great defender. I would take him.
Yeah, as long as you take Harry Maguire.
Let me think on that for 2 seconds. No. Daniela Zito says, as sensible and honest Man United fan, yeah, Colin is probably one of the nicest people, as well as a top Man United fan, but one of the nicest people on YouTube. Very, very proud to call him a very close friend as well, and a very, very big help to the channel. And of course, we're partnered with the Full Time Sports Network, which me and Philip are thrilled to be part of their channel and under their umbrella, and absolutely enjoying the working with them, him and Bobby and all the rest of the guys over there. They really are proper gents, and it's a privilege to be working with you, Colin, and under your
making
umbrella.
Me blush.
Nobody can see you. I should turn your camera red.
You should, yeah.
Gerard said Moyes was handed a poisonous chalice. Yeah, I think so. Daniela says, Dermot, did you hear what happened at the Leyton Orient game on Tuesday night? I did. And for me and Colin and everyone here on THFC Till I Die, and also the Full-Time Sports Network, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to the family of the person who passed away at that game. Very, very scary moment, Colin, and a very, very tough moment. But our thoughts and prayer go to Leyton Orient and the families, and I'm sure you want to echo that as well.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Obviously, it's a very horrible thing that happened. It's not something anybody wants to happen at all. So yeah, from myself, obviously everybody here, and all of the Full-Time Sports Network team as well. Our condolences and our prayers go out to the friends and family, and obviously everybody there as well.
Yeah, Leyton Orient. Yeah. So Daniela, look, I know you're a big Leyton Orient fan as well as Spurs fan. Our thoughts and prayers go to you and your club and the family, of course, of the person, of the gentleman or lady who passed away. Look, don't take this the wrong way, but I suppose if you wanted to go and you went to your favourite football club, I think I think that probably would be there. Be a nice place to go, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. It would.
I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to come across it being nice. I hope it came across that way.
Yeah, yeah. I understand what you're coming from. I think people do as well.
Yeah. Levy and the Glazers are good friends, apparently. Well, okay.
Well, if they're good friends, the business acumen is completely different.
It is. Got to go, gents. Once again, a great show. We'll see you tomorrow at night, all in chat. Big up, Chris. Carl, not Chris, Carl. Big up, Carl. And then he says he's back again. He says Gil is back though. And I was in Bobby's chat the other day, seeing how angry he was about the answer. So I missed that. I bet Bobby was absolutely flipping his lid.
Bobby's been very quiet.
That's dangerous. That's very, very dangerous.
It is.
Gerard says, Dermo, what did you make of Davinson versus Man United last night? We got mugged by selling them cheap. Yeah, we did. I don't know what to make of Davinson Sanchez last night. Laid on 2 goals and made it. He got the hat trick. He laid on 2 and caught 1 up. So he really got the match ball. So
yeah, but let's not forget. Yeah, you're saying this, but it's against Manchester United, who probably could get beat by a team of 7-year-olds.
Oh, this podcast or this debate next week's going to be fun. It'll be Column Unleashed.
Oh yes.
Daniela said it was a gentleman, 79 years old, all on Orient. Well, bless him. Well, again, our thoughts go out to him and his family and everyone at Leyton Orient. And Daniela says, big up. This channel is brilliant. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say. We try to be different from everyone else. We're sort of the rebel channel on YouTube. But look, it is what it is. But big up, Danny. Very kind words. So thank you very much. I'm not good at taking compliments. So look, thank you. That's all I can say. Colin, do you want to say anything, Daniela, for saying that? Just thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Danielle. Hey, obviously, I've been brought in here, taken on board as part of an extended family. You're right. This channel is brilliant, and thank you so much for acknowledging all the hard work that these guys do.
Yeah, thanks, Daniela. And Carl's got the last word of the night. Watch United linked to Sanchez in January. Oh, yeah. He's coming back, baby. He's coming back.
We're going to be linked to Vicario.
Yeah. Colin, listen, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Do you want to give the Full-Time Sports Network a big plug? What have you got coming up? Because I think we've got Rugby Saturday. And also, this is the weekend where we make our Formula One debut on the Full-Time Sports Network as well, Colin. So big things coming up.
Yeah, there's some massive things coming up on Full-Time Sports. I know there's a preview if you're just a football fan. Bobby is doing a preview tomorrow for obviously that small game that's happening at the weekend between two weird random clubs that, you know, I think they're playing League One. So he's doing a preview. Then obviously we've got you guys as well doing the rugby and the F1 for us. I'm not sure what's happening with the 3 p.m. scores yet. Things are working in the background.
Yeah, we are going to do the watch along for Tottenham Luton. Now I may do around the grounds. Now I know Philip can't, but I may do around the grounds. So Colin, if you're free and you want to do around the grounds with me with Bobby, we may do something, the three of us.
Yeah, we'll discuss that.
Yeah, I've actually got to change the name of that show because I've actually got an email from a YouTube channel called Around the Grounds. They said, "Could you change the name of your show because we're getting confused?" Which is a really lovely email. So yeah, I've got to come up with a new
if you get more
now.
views, we're keeping it as Around the Grounds. Now and then obviously on Sunday it's the Arsenal Man City game that Bobby will be doing the watch along as well. I might join him for that one because it'll be a bit tasty, I think.
I think me and Philip might join you as well, actually.
Yeah, come on, we can rip Bobby. We can rip him apart.
We can rip him apart. But listen, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We are back tomorrow at 4 with the pre-match show, Luton against Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, Colin, thank you a lot. Philip, thank you for coming on earlier. I want to thank Mia for doing the pre-record with me for Newsbeat as well. Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your Friday, your Thursday evening. I'm now off to have a bit of Viennetta and watch a bit of Justified, which I would recommend to anybody to watch. It's an absolute brilliant program. I don't know if you've ever watched it. Have you, Colin? Justified?
I haven't, no, but recently I haven't had the time. I've been a very, very busy man. So when I've got a bit more free time, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, it's very good. It's all about a Texan, a Kentucky U.S. Marshal, but it's the most funniest. It's very serious, but it's funny as well. It just
sounds like my thing.
It just reminds you of Glazers in Kentucky.
Oh God!
Just think of that. On that bombshell, we're going to say goodnight. We'll be back tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange, we trust. Do you want to say anything, Colin, about United?
Please win on Saturday, please.
Oh, bless him.